Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about a trip I took to Canada. Back in January, me and Claire decided to do something a little more adventurous for our anniversary. Claire came up with the idea of going to Canada. I had actually never been, so I was eager to go. She picked out a hotel and picked out a place to stay since she's been up to Canada quite a few times, and I, again, never been, so I kind of let her take the reins on this one. The only responsibility I had on this trip was figuring out what cameras I wanted to take. Again, this was back in January, so this was actually pretty recent up to Pentax's announcement that they were going to release a new film camera. So I decided to bring my Pentax MX and my newly acquired Pentax 6.7. Claire and I headed out early to make the most of our day. Again, with this being a short little getaway, me and Claire wanted to make the most of it. We wanted to check out a few different places, so we thought an earlier start would be the best for both of us. After a several-hour drive, we finally made it to Canada, and we made our first stop at Granville Island. Once parked, I loaded up the Pentax MX with some Kodak Ultramax 400. After looking at a few of these photos, I kind of thought I probably should have shot black and white. Gray and gloomy conditions don't really add to color photos that much. It kind of just makes them look a little sad. That being said though, I think I got a few good photos here and there, but I think, again, black and white might have been the right choice. After walking around and checking out a few of the shops here at Granville Island, we decided to head to the hotel room and unload and unpack and just kind of settle into our room.
What a lovely room. I wonder what the window looks out at. Let's go check it out. Oh. Oh, come on.
After checking out what was on TV and only seeing that there was a Canadian Western marathon going on, featuring such movies as The Good, the Kind, and the Friendly, Fistful of Loonies, and a few loonies more, me and Claire decided it was probably best to go out and explore Vancouver. Not wanting to be weighed down by all my gear, I just brought the Pentax MX with me and just kind of finished up the roll of Kodak Ultramax 400. Claire and I kind of made our way out of Vancouver and kind of started exploring more of the southern borough. She had found a few different places she wanted to check out, along with some good food and some good drinks, and we kind of just wandered around and checked out a couple different businesses. At this point, I had finished up the Kodak Ultramax and I decided to load up some Ilford HP5. I had rated the HP5 at 1600 because I wanted a little more contrast in these photos, but I actually ended up not taking any photos that night. I kind of just spent some time with my girlfriend and just enjoyed our time together and got a little too drunk. With the first day done, me and Claire decided to head to breakfast to start our second day. Accompanying us to breakfast wasn't just our hangovers, but the Pentax 6.7 as well too, loaded up with some Portra 800.
Day 2. Let's go get some breakfast. Look at all my food.
Moving from breakfast, we made our way through Vancouver all the way over to the ferry terminal. and I had a whole afternoon planned here in North Vancouver, with the first stop being the Polygon Gallery. The Polygon Gallery was really fun for me because it showcased a lot of local photographers as well as other artists all here in this little space. It was a fun afternoon to kind of check out other people's work, get inspired, and just kind of see what other people are making now. Before I could withdraw every dollar out of my checking account into photography books, me and Claire left the Polygon Gallery. After the gallery though, me and Claire just decided to explore North Vancouver. We explored the marina and a couple different areas throughout North Vancouver, kind of zigzagged around town and tried to find some different places to go check out later on when they started to open up, either for dinner or for a drink. So at this point, you might be wondering, where are any of those HP5 shots from the Pentax MX that you loaded the night prior? Funny thing is, when I was loading that film up, I technically didn't load it correctly, so I shot a whole roll of film and it never advanced a single frame. So I wasted a whole bunch of time taking photos of great compositions and a few that I was actually really excited to see, and they will never see the light of day because the film never advanced. Unfortunately, knowing that that roll didn't take, it kind of upset me, and I really wanted to take some great photos for this video. I was actually really excited to shoot the entire weekend to make another video, but with that being said, I kind of lost some momentum there when I found out that roll didn't work out. To make up for it though, I loaded some Kodak Ultramax into the MX and made sure it was loaded this time. As well, I loaded up some Fuji Pro 400H into the Pentax 6.7. I was shooting with a 45mm on the Pentax 6.7, and it is a really ultra wide angle lens for the system, and I will say it probably wasn't the best lens for that day. I didn't really like these pictures I took with the 45mm here in North Vancouver with the Pentax. It was a little too wide and the lighting wasn't really asking for color photography, so again, I didn't think this was my best work.
you're light filming me.
Yeah, dumbass.
I wasn't too happy with my Pentax 6-7 shots, but with the Pentax MX, I got a few ones I liked. And more so, I really like this mini series I'm gonna post here. While heading back to the ferry, it was kind of getting to that golden hour, blue hour point of day, and I just kind of took some photos along our walk back to the ferry. I don't think these photos have the greatest composition, but just seeing the colors change in the sky and just watching them progress, I think this is a really fun little mini series. From the ferry back from North Vancouver to Vancouver, our night was kind of slowing down, and I think it was just time for dinner and maybe calling it a night. So I just kind of finished up the roll of the Ultramax and we headed back to the hotel. Feeling defeated with my photo taking experiences that day, I wasn't gonna let it get me down. I loaded up some Cinestill 800T into the Pentax MX and I quickly grabbed my tripod and went outside to start taking some photos of the nightlife here in Vancouver. Feeling accomplished with my night photography, it was now time to call it a night. The next and final day, me and Clara woke up again and kind of packed up everything and went off for breakfast again. After breakfast, though, we didn't have much time left in Vancouver. Unfortunately, we had to get back to Washington quite early that day, but we made it a stopover at Stanley Park before we left. Once at Stanley Park, I pulled out the Pentax 6.7 and I switched out to the 75mm. Here, though, I made the best choice I could have made all weekend. I loaded up some Tri-X 400. It was a gray, gloomy, rainy morning, and Tri-X really came to save the day. The fog and the mist really kind of added a natural diffusion to these photos, and I just think they were really just kind of dreamy. As well, Stanley Park is just a massive, massive park that's quite beautiful. I wish I spent more time exploring it, but again, without much time, we kind of just made our rounds around the park. After finishing up this roll, it was time to head back to Washington. I had a great time in Canada. I really wish it wasn't so rainy and cloudy, but that's what you get when you travel in January in the Northwest. Overall, though, I really recommend hanging out in Vancouver. It had a great food scene. The people are pretty friendly. Like, I know it's always a joke, like how friendly Canadians are, but they really were quite nice, and we're really happy to basically let you know what places to check out, especially when it came to food or drinks. Like, everybody was just like really eager to share their opinions, so I really did appreciate that. With another successful trip done and some great photographs taken, I only have one thing to say at the end of this trip. No, I didn't buy any maple syrup.